Hey guys, I'm going to be filming my first alteration video today. It is my first time doing this, so apologies if the camera angles and the sound is a little bit rubbish, but I'm only filming on my iPhone, so it's not going to be of the best quality. The thing I'm going to be altering today is a floor-length floral summer dress I got from a charity shop in Salisbury. I'll insert a clip here of me prancing around in it. And what I'm going to be doing today is changing the length, so altering it to about mid-thigh length, and I'm going to be changing the back, so I'm going to be making the straps into a halter neck, and then hopefully adding a bow with the excess fabric that I've cut off. So let's get started. So the first thing I did was I put the dress on inside out, I pinned it up onto the rest of the dress to where I wanted it to fall on my thigh. And then I've made sure it's all even around the edges, and then you need to take it off and cut it on the cutting table. So next I laid the dress out on the table. I made a small cut as a guideline, and then I laid it flat and I cut around the edge of the dress to make it shorter. After that, I just had to check that it was all even, which it wasn't, so I had to trim a little bit off the bottom just to make sure that it was. So I tried it on quickly again just to make sure that it was a decent length on me, and now it's time to actually hem it. So again, I laid it out on the table inside out, and I folded up the edge around 2.5 centimetres, and I double checked each time I pinned it that it was the same length the whole way round. So after it was all pinned down, I took it over to the ironing board and I pressed the hem all the way around, as this made sure that when I was actually sewing it, even though the pins do hold it in place, the press seam means that it won't move around so much. So I hemmed all the way around the edge of the dress using a straight stitch, and at the end it's always a good idea to use the reverse method on the sewing machine just to finish off the stitch, just to make sure that it doesn't come unthreaded. So we've hemmed the bottom, and what I said I wanted to do was make the back into a halter neck. So with this dress, it's actually got a little tie here. I'm just going to clip that, take that out, and then what I can do is snip it, probably like halfway down, snip from here, and that should tie up at the back to make it into a lovely halter neck. So again, I laid it out flat and I chopped in the middle of both of the straps to separate them, as this leaves enough fabric to make the halter neck at the back. Now, to make sure that the edge of the halter neck isn't just a rough edge, I folded each side in to make a point, and then I pinned it to hold it in place. So I sewed down each edge of the point and then across the top to finish it off, and I also backstitched on each one just to make sure the stitches stayed in place. Right, so we've done the straps for the halter neck, and now we've got these two little flaps here on either side of the dress that I'm going to use the excess from the bottom, so this drawn bit of fabric, to add on a bow, so 2 extra strings, add on a bow to make a bow at the back. So I just cut 2 long strips of fabric from the excess from the bottom. All I did next was just sew each edge of the bottom of the strips over just to conceal the raw edges. All I did next is I folded the strip completely in half, folding the raw edge under as I went. I didn't use any pins, as the foot held the fold in place as I sewed. So this is the last step. Firstly, I took the 2 flaps on the side of the dress and pressed under the raw edges just to make sure that they were nice and neat. I then took the strip from the bow and put it in the middle. I folded the 2 edges over a bit like a present, and then I sewed up each edge across the top, and then I backstitched to make sure they all stayed in place. So there we have it, the finished dress. Ta-da! enjoyed watching that. I had a lot of fun doing it as well. I've got loads more things I can alter, so there'll be more of these videos. And thank you to my mum's friend Christy for letting me borrow her sewing machine, as mine I lost the power lead for my sewing machine, so I had to quickly go and borrow hers. So thank you very much. So yeah, like and subscribe if you want to see more of these, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.